Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, you're stuck, blocked, or unable to move forward? What if I told you that before December 12th, God is about to remove 3 people from your life, people whose presence is unknowingly holding back your breakthrough? Today I'm going to reveal exactly how this works, and why this is the moment that will change everything for you. This creates curiosity and a sense of urgency, making the audience want to watch until the end. Friends, I want you to listen carefully because this message could change everything in your life. Before December 12th, God is going to do something miraculous in your life, but it requires change, it requires preparation, and yes, it requires a removal. Now, some of you may be asking, why would God remove people from my life? Let me tell you, it's not because He wants you to be lonely. It's not because He is angry. It's because He has something bigger for you. God removes to restore. When the wrong people are in the right place, they block your blessings without even realizing it. There are 3 types of people who may be standing in the way of your breakthrough. Those who drain your energy. They constantly complain, criticize, or demand from you without giving back. They take your focus and leave you exhausted. Those who block your vision. These are the ones who make you doubt your dreams, your calling, or your potential. They cannot see your future because they are too busy holding you in the past. Those who carry negativity. Their words, actions, or attitudes plant fear, anxiety, and limitation in your heart. They may mean well, but their presence slows your momentum. Friends, listen to me. God is about to remove these people from your life. He is clearing the path for your divine breakthrough. But you must be ready. You must be prayerful. You must hold on to faith and keep moving forward. Imagine a garden blocked by rocks. Until those rocks are removed, the water cannot nourish the plants, the sun cannot reach the soil, and the harvest will be delayed. In the same way, God's removal of certain people is making way for your blessings, your promotion, your answered prayers, and your long-awaited breakthrough. So today I challenge you, open your heart, release what needs to go, and embrace what God is bringing. Trust Him to remove and watch Him restore. Because before December 12th, your life is about to take a divine turn and nothing will ever be the same again. Have you ever wondered why certain doors in your life remain closed, no matter how hard you knock? You try your best, you give your time, your energy, your heart, yet the breakthrough you've been praying for seems just out of reach. Some of us have been running in circles for years, thinking that our lack of progress is because of our own limitations. But today I want to tell you a truth that can change the way you see everything. Sometimes the reason your breakthrough has not come is not because of your efforts, but because of the people surrounding you. Yes, there are individuals in our lives who, whether knowingly or unknowingly, hold us back from the fullness of God's plan. But here is the good news. God is not unaware. He sees the invisible chains that are blocking your blessings, and He is able to remove them in His perfect timing. God removes to restore, and this is one of the most powerful principles of faith that many people never fully understand. When we talk about God removing, it is not an act of punishment or rejection. It is an act of preparation and restoration. Think about a gardener preparing the soil for planting. Before the seeds can grow and flourish, the gardener must clear the weeds, remove the stones, and make the ground fertile. The weeds are not evil. They are just in the wrong place, competing with the plants for water and sunlight. In the same way, God's removal of certain people is like the clearing of weeds from your life. It may feel painful, it may feel uncomfortable, but it is necessary for the growth of something greater. Without this removal, the seeds of your destiny, the blessings of your breakthrough, cannot fully take root. Your life may remain stagnant, your faith may struggle to flourish, and your purpose may be delayed because the wrong influences continue to occupy the spaces meant for divine blessings. Many people struggle to accept this truth because they confuse removal with abandonment. They see someone leaving their life and immediately feel rejection, loss, or betrayal. But God's perspective is higher than ours. He does not remove people to harm you. He removes them to make space for restoration. Restoration is not simply getting back what was lost. It is receiving something greater, something purer, and something that aligns with the divine plan. When the wrong people leave, they leave room for the right people to enter. They leave room for opportunities that previously could not manifest. They leave room for your faith to operate without obstruction. And sometimes, The removal is so subtle that you may not even realize it is happening until you look back and see how much lighter your heart feels, how much freer your spirit becomes, and how much more aligned your life feels with God's purpose. There are examples in Scripture that demonstrate this principle. Think of Abraham, who had to leave his familiar surroundings to enter a land God had promised him. God's removal of him from the comfort of his home, from the familiar faces of his family and community, was not to punish him but to restore him into a place where God's promise could manifest. Without that removal, Abraham's destiny could not have been fulfilled. Similarly, Joseph was removed from the comfort of his home, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and imprisoned. At first, it seemed cruel, unjust, and unfair, but every removal was preparing him for the restoration that would follow, the place where he would rise above every challenge, save nations, and fulfill the dreams God had given him. The removal was painful, but it was necessary. And like Joseph, many of us must understand that the removal of certain people from our lives is often the first step toward the restoration that will exceed anything we could imagine. The process of removal can happen in different ways. Sometimes it is sudden, abrupt, and shocking. Someone who has been a daily presence in your life may disappear without warning. Sometimes it is gradual, a slow fading away as God gently redirects the paths of people whose role in your life has come to an end. And sometimes the removal is spiritual rather than physical. A person may still be present, but God changes the dynamics so that their influence over you diminishes, allowing your faith, your vision, and your purpose to rise unhindered. In every scenario, the principle remains the same. God removes to restore. He removes not to punish, but to prepare. He removes not to take away, but to make way. You may wonder why this is necessary. Why cannot God just pour blessings into our lives without removing the people who stand in the way? The answer lies in understanding the law of preparation. Blessings are not only about what comes to you, they are about what you are ready to receive. If your life is cluttered with energy that contradicts your destiny, energy of doubt, fear, limitation, or negativity, then the blessings you are asking for cannot fully land. The removal of certain people is like clearing the clutter of a room before you can bring in something valuable. Imagine trying to place a priceless vase in a room full of boxes, dirt, and obstacles. No matter how perfect the vase is, it cannot shine in a room unprepared to receive it. God removes to prepare your environment, your heart, and your life for the glory, abundance, and favor that are coming. It is also essential to recognize that not every removal is easy to understand. You may feel sorrow, disappointment, or even anger when someone exits your life. But faith sees beyond the immediate emotion and trusts in God's plan. Faith recognizes that God's wisdom is higher than human reasoning. Faith understands that the removal, though sometimes painful, is a necessary pruning for growth. Pruning is never easy. It involves cutting away what seems alive and valuable. But it is necessary to strengthen the roots, enhance the fruit, and ensure the plant reaches its full potential. Likewise, the removal of people who do not align with God's vision for your life strengthens your spirit, clarifies your purpose, and positions you for the harvest of blessings that God has planned for you. Another important truth is that God's removal often comes with divine timing. It does not happen too early, and it does not happen too late. It happens exactly when you are ready to embrace the restoration that follows. There may be a season of waiting, a period of reflection, or even a time of testing, but the removal will occur precisely when it is most needed. And when it does happen, you will look back and realize that the very moment someone was removed was the moment your life could finally move forward. Your heart will be lighter, your focus sharper, and your faith stronger. You will recognize that what God removes is never a loss. It is a preparation for a greater gain. Those who have experienced this principle often describe it as an awakening. They feel a sudden clarity, a release from burdens they did not fully understand, and a sense of freedom to pursue their destiny without obstruction. The removal of people may have caused temporary pain, but the restoration that follows brings permanent joy, peace, and alignment with God's plan. Your breakthrough, your promotion, your answered prayer may have been delayed simply because the wrong people were in the right place at the wrong time. Once they are removed, the path becomes clear, the blessings flow freely, and your life begins to move with divine acceleration. There are certain people in our lives whose presence can unknowingly hinder the flow of blessings, the manifestation of dreams, and the fulfillment of destiny. Many of us fail to recognize them because their influence feels subtle at first, almost invisible. yet over time their impact can be significant. God, in His wisdom, often uses the principle of removal to free us from these individuals so that our lives can align with His perfect plan. Before December 12th, it is critical to understand that there are 3 types of people whose removal is necessary for your breakthrough, because each type carries a unique form of obstruction that can stall your progress if left unchecked. The first type are those who drain your energy. These are the people who, no matter how much you give, seem never to be satisfied. They constantly demand your time, your attention, your support, and your energy, yet they offer little in return. They are emotionally or spiritually exhausting, and their presence can leave you feeling depleted, frustrated, and stuck. You may have noticed that after being around certain individuals, your mood feels heavy, your faith feels weak, and your focus feels scattered. Energy is one of the most valuable currencies in your life, and when it is drained by the wrong people, your ability to pursue your purpose diminishes. God sees this, and He knows that in order for your breakthrough to come, the people who drain your energy must be removed, because only when your energy is preserved can your dreams begin to manifest. The second type of person who must be removed are those who block your vision. These are individuals who, intentionally or unintentionally, make you doubt your potential, question your calling, or fear stepping into your purpose. They may speak words of discouragement, challenge your ideas unnecessarily, or simply lack the faith to see what God has promised you. Sometimes they do not even speak negatively, but their lack of vision, their complacency, and their skepticism act like an anchor that prevents you from rising. When you are surrounded by people who cannot see beyond their own limitations, it becomes difficult to pursue the greater plan that God has designed for your life. Vision is fragile and must be nurtured. When it is constantly met with resistance or doubt, it can fade. God knows this, and He orchestrates removal so that the people who block your vision no longer stand in the way, allowing you to move forward with clarity, courage, and divine insight. When these blockers are removed, you will find that doors begin to open that were previously sealed. Ideas flow freely, and your faith becomes stronger because it is no longer weighed down by external skepticism. The third type of person whose removal is necessary are those who carry negativity. Negativity can be subtle, quiet, and persistent. It may not always be spoken, but it is felt. Some people walk into a room and bring a cloud of doubt, fear, or anxiety. They see the worst in every situation and cannot rejoice in the success or blessings of others. Their words, actions, and even their attitudes create an environment that is inhospitable to faith, hope, and growth. Negativity is infectious. It spreads slowly but effectively, and when left unchecked, it can create an atmosphere that prevents your breakthrough. God knows the power of environment, and He understands that you cannot grow in a space filled with persistent negative energy. This is why removal is necessary, to clear away the lingering forces of discouragement, fear, and doubt, and to make space for optimism, faith, and divine favor to thrive. When the negative influences are removed, your heart begins to feel lighter, your mind becomes more focused, and your spirit is free to pursue the dreams and purpose that God has prepared for you. It is essential to recognize that these 3 types of people are not necessarily evil, unkind, or intentionally harmful. Many of them may love you, care for you, or even believe they are helping you. Yet love without alignment to God's plan can still be obstructive. Energy drainers may genuinely need your help, vision blockers may care about your well-being, and negative influencers may believe they are being realistic. The problem is not their intent, but the effect they have on your destiny. God does not punish, He adjusts. He removes so that your spiritual, emotional, and practical path can be clear. He removes not because someone is bad, but because they are in the wrong place at the wrong time for your breakthrough. Understanding this allows you to embrace the process with faith rather than resentment, recognizing that God's removal is an act of divine precision, not human judgment. Energy drainers often test your patience and endurance. They call when you are busy, complain when you are trying to focus, and demand when you are already stretched thin. The challenge is that sometimes we feel guilty for wanting distance or boundaries with these individuals, as if their needs must always take priority over our own. But God's perspective is different. He knows that to move into your next level, you must conserve your energy for what truly matters: prayer, preparation, and purposeful action. When energy drainers are removed, you gain time, strength, and mental clarity to pursue your calling without distraction. Your energy becomes a resource for building your vision rather than than being spent keeping others afloat. And this is a critical step toward breakthrough. Vision blockers, on the other hand, challenge your faith, your creativity, and your courage. They may not directly speak against your goals, but their skepticism, reluctance, or doubt seeps into your heart and slows your progress. Every great leader, prophet, or pioneer in history has faced vision blockers. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stagnant is often simply the willingness to let God remove the people whose presence limits the imagination, the risk-taking, and the faith needed to step into destiny. Vision blockers may feel like obstacles, but they are actually signposts, indicating that a shift is coming. God uses their departure to clear the way for your focus, your innovation, and your ability to dream without limitation. When they are removed, your vision can expand, your faith can increase, and your breakthrough can manifest with clarity and speed. Negativity carriers are perhaps the most subtle but equally destructive. They create an invisible resistance in your life, a weight that slows your steps and clouds your decisions. Their constant focus on problems, failures, and limitations can cause doubt to creep into your mind, even when your faith is strong. God knows that your environment is critical to your growth. Just as plants need sunlight, water, and fertile soil to flourish, your spirit needs encouragement, affirmation, and positive energy to grow. Negativity carriers block this growth, and their removal is essential to creating a space where faith, hope, and blessings can thrive. Once they are gone, you will notice a remarkable difference, not only in your circumstances, but in your emotional and spiritual state. You will feel lighter, freer, and more confident to step into the future God has prepared for you. Understanding these three types of people, the energy drainers, the vision blockers, and the negativity carriers, is crucial for anyone seeking breakthrough. Their presence is not always obvious, and their impact is often underestimated. But God's wisdom sees every detail. He knows who needs to stay, who needs to be redirected, and who must be removed entirely. And He acts with perfect timing. Sometimes the removal happens naturally, as relationships fade or paths diverge. Sometimes it requires intentional action on your part, establishing boundaries, walking away from unhealthy dynamics, or seeking spiritual guidance to discern God's will. Faith teaches us to trust the process, to recognize that removal is not loss, but preparation, and that every person God removes from your life is making space for something greater. When energy drainers are gone, your strength is restored. When vision blockers depart, your dreams can expand. When negativity carriers leave, your spirit is free to rise. Understanding this principle allows you to embrace God's timing, trust His wisdom, and move forward boldly toward the breakthrough that is waiting for you. Once the right people have been removed from your life, a new season begins, a season of preparation for the breakthrough that God has been orchestrating long before you ever prayed for it. This preparation is not passive. It requires awareness, faith, and deliberate alignment with God's plan. Many people desire breakthrough, but few are truly ready to receive it, because readiness is more than simply wanting change. It is being in a position where your heart, your mind, and your spirit are fully aligned with the divine purpose. Preparation begins with understanding that God's timing is perfect, and that every removal, every shift, every season of change in your life is not random but intentional. It is designed to prime you for the blessings, opportunities, and answers that are waiting on the other side of transition. The first step in preparation is cultivating a heart of faith. Faith is not just belief, it is confidence in God's promises, even when circumstances appear contrary. After people have been removed from your life, you may feel uncertainty, fear, or even loneliness. These feelings are natural, but they are also opportunities to strengthen your trust in God. Faith sees the invisible and declares victory over the impossible. It believes that what God has planned for you is far greater than what you are leaving behind. The preparation phase involves nurturing this faith through prayer, meditation on God's Word, and consistent alignment with His will. Just as a farmer prepares the soil for planting, you must prepare your heart to receive the seeds of breakthrough. The deeper your faith, the stronger your foundation, and the greater your ability to recognize and seize the opportunities that God is sending your way. Next comes clarity of vision. Once the obstructive influences have been removed, it becomes essential to clarify what God is calling you to pursue. Many people enter seasons of breakthrough without fully understanding what they are stepping into, and as a result, they stumble or miss the blessings that are meant for them. Preparation requires focus, not distraction. It requires writing down your goals, seeking God's guidance in every decision, and being intentional about the steps you take. When your environment is free from energy drainers, vision blockers, and negativity carriers, your mind can operate with precision, your vision becomes sharper, your goals clearer, and your faith actionable. God removes the distractions so that you can see the path before you with greater clarity, and it is during this preparation phase that you learn to recognize opportunities that others may overlook. Every detail, every alignment, and every decision becomes a part of the divine puzzle that is preparing you for your breakthrough. Preparation also requires the cultivation of patience. Many of us desire immediate results, but true breakthrough is often preceded by a period of growth, testing, and refinement. The removal of people does not automatically guarantee instant success. It opens the door for opportunity, but it also challenges you to walk in alignment with God's timing. Patience is not passive waiting, it is active trust. It is working diligently on your purpose, strengthening your character, and staying faithful in the unseen moments. God's preparation involves shaping your heart, sharpening your skills, and building resilience so that when the breakthrough arrives, you are ready to handle it with wisdom, gratitude, and humility. Every trial, every quiet moment of perseverance, and every act of obedience contributes to your readiness. The people who were removed from your life may have been a shield or a barrier, but in their absence, you have the chance to develop strength, independence, and spiritual maturity. Another critical aspect of preparation is embracing a posture of gratitude. Gratitude is powerful because it shifts your focus from what you have lost to what you are about to gain. When God removes people from your life, it may initially feel like a loss, but gratitude allows you to see the removal as part of the divine process. Being thankful opens your heart to the blessings that are coming and positions you to receive them fully. It changes your energy, your outlook, and your response to the opportunities that arrive. People who are ungrateful often fail to maximize their breakthroughs because they are too focused on what has been taken away rather than what is being offered. Preparation, therefore, involves cultivating an attitude of thanksgiving, acknowledging God's hand in every change, and celebrating even the small signs of progress along the way. Preparation also demands action. Faith without works is incomplete, and readiness without action is wasted potential. After the removal of obstructive influences, it is time to step boldly into the tasks, responsibilities, and opportunities that align with your calling. Action demonstrates your readiness to receive and positions you in the flow of divine favor. Even small steps, taken consistently, build momentum. God often uses preparation to test your commitment, to see if you are willing to act even when the results are not immediately visible. Each deliberate step you take toward your purpose signals to heaven that you are ready, and it activates the forces that bring your breakthrough to fruition. God removes obstacles not so you can remain stagnant, but so you can move forward with confidence, clarity, and courage. Another dimension of preparation is the refinement of character. Breakthrough is not merely about achievement or external success. It is about alignment with God's values and principles. People who have been removed from your life may have been testing your patience, your humility, or your discernment. Their departure creates space for your character to be strengthened. You learn to rely more on God than on human approval, to trust in His timing rather than your own, and to develop qualities such as integrity, perseverance, and wisdom. These qualities are essential for sustaining long-term success. Many people experience temporary breakthroughs but fail to maintain them because they were not spiritually or emotionally prepared. Preparation ensures that when your breakthrough comes, it is lasting and transformative, affecting every area of your life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and practically. Community and mentorship also play a role in preparation. After certain people are removed from your life, God often brings the right individuals to guide, encourage, and support you. These are the people who align with your purpose, inspire your faith, and propel you forward. Preparation involves recognizing these relationships, learning from them, and allowing them to contribute to your growth. Just as a seed needs the right soil, sunlight, and water to flourish, your life requires the influence of people who elevate, encourage, and nurture your potential. When you are ready, these new relationships enter your life at the perfect moment, and they accelerate your journey toward breakthrough. Finally, preparation involves cultivating a lifestyle of spiritual discipline. Prayer, meditation, study, and reflection are all tools that sharpen your awareness, strengthen your faith, and enhance your sensitivity to God's direction. During the period following the removal of certain people, your spiritual practices become even more critical. They keep you grounded, focused, and aligned with the divine will. Preparation is not just external, it is internal. It is the refining of your thoughts, the strengthening of your emotions, and the alignment of your spirit with God's vision. When your internal world is ready, your external breakthrough cannot be delayed.